Hey, good morning, family. Um, should I do? I need somebody. I need help. I need help with a tagline for this YouTube page. I thought that I would do Jay and Raya Cam Fam. Because everybody on YouTube got taglines. So I want to have one too, and I'm trying to get my little joint set up here, y'all, because I didn't have it set up today. Um, but so I can go hands free, and then I'll get to the story time. But before I do the story time, you guys, I want to um, show you a little progress uh, with my keto motivation. This is the waist cincher that I got from Burl. No, was it? No, Ross's for $3.99, and it was really. When I first tried it, I was a little poochy right here. So this is just a 14-pound loss. I just want to come to y'all, bring y'all that, bring you that, hand it to you, eat it up, eat it up, eat it up. But yeah, that's that. And I'm gonna get on with the story time. This is part 3 of oops. Sorry, I'm not gonna edit that out either. So this is part 3 to my marriage saga that I was bringing to my subs on YouTube. So I'm gonna get on up here on this here bed here in a minute, move a few things. I was getting the baby ready for daycare and everything. So she's gone now. So I'm gonna go ahead and get with this story time. Um, I'm gonna put this here top on here. I don't want my little video to get flagged or nothing. But I also got to go to work today, so I need to put on my clothes. I got my pants and everything on already. So, okay, guys. So, for those of y'all who are watching this for the first time, if you are not, please subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you get the new content every time I post the new content. Also, please put some comments in, you guys. Let me know what you think, what you want to hear, the things that you think that I'm omitting, or that I've skipped over, and you got questions about. I'll answer them. Um, just post the questions and I'll answer them. Okay, I'll try to answer them across all my platforms. But I'm also on here begging for likes. But anyway, uh, let's get to the nitty gritty. So part 3. All right, so we're living together. The baby is born. Um, I have to work because he's got this back injury that needs a surgery, needs attention. So he finally goes in for this surgery. And he gets the surgery, and I stay off a week because that's all the PTO time I had between doctor's appointments, between him and the baby and myself. He doesn't seem to understand that. I don't understand how he doesn't understand that. But anyway, because he wasn't working. And so, being the breadwinner, I have to go to work. I have to make sure that the roof is secure over our head, that we got food in our mouths and a bed to sleep in, all of that jazz. Okay. All of that. Okay. So, I'm doing my job. However, he's growing more and more despondent. You know what I mean? He's not, let me listen with these hands, child. He's not really talking at all. Like, for real, no type of conversation at all, because he's still so angry. And being that that's where we left off at, that's where we're going to pick up at. Okay. So um time goes on, uh and then I start to notice that he's spending like not just part of the day, but all of the evening outside until like the baby's in the bed, I'm in the bed, all of that. Okay. And he's on the phone. So um I just I'm just thinking that, he's talking to his family, his family in Jamaica, his kids, his aunties, his cousins, friends, all of that. Well, all along, he is talking to some chick, I guess. And then finally this girl, she sort of kind of gets into my inbox and kind of messages me a few things. So I asked him about it, and of course he's like, I can have friends, I can't have friends, and things like that. So, I just dropped it. I was like, you know what? I'm not even finna, I'm not finna fight this fight, you know. So fast forward, um, after the surgery was over and he had somewhat healed up, and had the cardio Aquinas syndrome, um, ended up having to have an emergency second surgery, you guys. It was extremely hard on him, and then he had to spend some time in rehab. So it was just me and the baby here. During this time, I secured childcare, so he wouldn't have to be at home with her after the second surgery. So I had her in childcare, and everything was going okay. Um, as far as me going to work and not having to be stressed about him being anxious about caring for our child, and coming off of surgery and having to be really careful and all that, because at this time she was a little bit older and required a little bit more. And so I was very happy about that I didn't have to deal with that. But my boss, being as sweet as she is, she recognized and remembered the last time that I was so stressed, so she donated to me uh 40 PTO hours of her personal time. At my pay rate, it was what it was, but at her pay rate, I'm sure that was a lot of money that she donated to my family, and for that, I do thank you. You know who you are if you're watching this channel. I love you. Anyway, back to the business. So after he'd already been caught several times on the phone talking to females and all of that, the fiasco at my job, um, intro, he gets better. And um, I get him a job. Well, I help him get a job at Hy-Vee. So he's working at Hy-Vee, and you know, everything was everything was what it was. He was contributing when he could. He wasn't making a whole lot of money, but he was contributing. He was helping out. He was not buying anything, real big or anything. So he worked that job for a number of months, but then because of the type of work it was, he couldn't work it anymore. He was sitting on the floor. They had him sitting on the floor, had him lifting and doing all type of stuff. With his back, he couldn't do that. So he quit that job, adding more stress back on me. And so, of course, that led to a lot of sniping at each other, tit for tat. We were going. And then it just went back to just silence. The silent treatment. And so after that, and the second surgery, I asked him, was he ready to try to work again? And he said, yes. So I thought it would be better to try to find him something that wasn't that strenuous. But he said he wanted to, work at night. So we found him a night janitorial position with 4M. That didn't last long because he got promoted from a janitor to a painter. And that increased his pay rate, you guys. That was great. So for about 8 or 9 months, he was paying the entire rent. Okay. Um, she was happy. I was really elated by that. It allowed me to save some coins and let me buy me a car flat out. But um, that was really good. It was about time that we could share the load. And I was very appreciative. However, I think that's when he met the girl that he's with now. Somehow he ended up meeting this female, and I'm just checking the time because I got to go in about 15 minutes. So all of a sudden, I mean, his job, he as a painter, it was all night, but it also would take him out of town to like the St. Louis area and Chicago area to work and stuff like that. Sometime for a couple days at a time, they would be gone. But that's when he must have met her, you know. And so he started wanting to go away on the weekend by himself. Talking about he needed his personal time. What husband or wife does that? If I would have done that, the world would have imploded, okay? Because I was just driving, Lyft and doing DoorDash and stuff like that. And I was doing these things into the late hours. DoorDash would stop, and Grubhub would stop at 11. DoorDash would stop at like 9, but Lyft is all night. And so I was making my coin. This man was trying to somehow, because he was cheating and lying, trying to somehow deflect it on me, but I wasn't going. Because I wasn't doing nothing, and we've been separated for 2 years, and I still have not been with another man because I want this divorce to go through, so everything will be everything. You know what I'm saying? This man need to just sign these divorce papers, which he has said recently that he agreed to sign them. So I'm gonna go ahead and get some, and we're gonna see how that goes. I'm gonna get some more because I don't know what the other ones are. That's 2 years ago. But anywho, back on track. So he starts going away on the weekends and then not answering the phone. And then when he would call back, I could tell y'all that he was in a hotel. You know that I'm in the hallway, like he made up a reason to go get ice or something, but he wasn't in the room. So I tracked his phone, and he was in St. Louis at a hotel. And when I tracked his phone, it pinged him, and he called me. And he asked me, I said, hell yeah, I track your damn phone. I know you're in a hotel in St. Louis. Goodbye. And hung up. Because what is there to talk about? I'm not finna fight about it. I know where you are. It is what it is. So this went on for months, you guys. And then finally they just started staying here at the hotel right up the street from the house. Okay. So one day, he left on his little weekend. And mind you, let me just put this out for you guys. He somehow thought that because he cared for this baby while I worked and took care of everything financial for the first 2 years, that somehow that made him a better parent than me, that elevated him above me, that I wasn't shit. Okay. But I would go to work, and when I got off work, I would come home and I would care for the baby from 5:30, 6 o'clock, whatever time it was that I got in, provided I didn't have to go to the store or anything like that in between, for the rest of the night until the morning, in which I got up and got myself ready, got her ready, made her breakfast before I left. Okay. And then I would get off work, and he would leave and go to work at 5:30 or 6. Okay. Sometime at 4:30. Sometime I would have to leave work at 4. It was always me making the sacrifices. Okay. Never him, always me. And so after I would come home, he would get in the car and he would leave and go to work. And he would be gone until 5, 6 in the morning, sometime 3, depending on how much work they had. And he would come home and go to bed. Well, the baby's asleep, so you don't get to see her. And in the morning time, when I would get up, I would get her ready, get her dressed, give her her breakfast, and take her to daycare. So I would pick her up when I got off work and bring her home with me. And he would leave and go to work. You see there? How is he seeing this baby? What time does he have to see this baby? And then on the weekends, you want to leave and go be with your mistress. So tell me, for 6 to 8 months of this, how were you seeing your child? When it might be one weekend here or there that you didn't go. One or two maybe, and salt peppered in there. Okay. All right. So this continues. And he's angry because I'm not sleeping with him. I'm not sleeping with you, sir. And you got a girlfriend. I don't know nothing about her. Well, you got a Jezebel. You got a mistress. Because when you're married, you can't have a girlfriend. You can't be nobody's girlfriend or boyfriend. So therefore, until the divorce goes through, I will be married with a husband, because he was here, but he's not anymore. You know what I'm saying. Anyway, back on track. Yeah, it was a little bit stressful when I first asked him to leave, but I'm okay now, y'all. I am. I really am. I'm happy. I wasn't happy. I was miserable. And let me just say that this relationship, this marriage was the first time I had ever fully committed and put myself out there in a relationship with someone. For it to turn out this way, it kind of reaffirms the way I lived my younger life, and not forming attachments to these men was the right thing for me. So, but that's another story time. Okay. Back on track with this husband. So he's doing all this, going places and doing stuff with this person. He's coming back. He got gifts and shit. He got cologne, he got clothes and some name brand stuff, y'all. I mean real stuff. Not stuff off from Burlington and stuff like that. I'm talking about some real stuff. So she was showing out, you know what I'm saying? She was trying to take my husband, okay? But what she didn't know was that she didn't have to try too hard because I didn't want him anymore anyway. I was tired of the disrespect. I had it, you know. And so we had a trip planned to go to Jamaica, the three of we. And I just was like, why don't you just go with the baby? Because at that time I wasn't feeling it. I just didn't want to go. I didn't want to go. I know everybody's like, how come you don't want to go to Jamaica? Because I've been enough. I've been a few times. Remember, I'm married to a whole Jamaican. Um, and since he been here 2013, he done been home 3 times. That's a lot. You know what I'm saying? For a lot of people who don't have no job. Okay, you see what I'm saying? But yeah, and life continued. Okay, and so knowing that he had this mistress and everything, I figured that he would ask her to meet him in Jamaica. That's what I really figured. I'm still not sure that he didn't, because when it came time to come back, he didn't come back, and he came up with this whole thing that they missed the flight and all this that, and the other. But I think that they just rebooked the flights so they could stay longer, so that they could be together out there. You know what I mean? Because for 2 days I didn't know where he was with my child or anything. And then finally he texts me back and says Jariah's asleep. Wait a minute, hold up. What you mean she asleep? Where you at? Nothing. Radio silence. So the next day he gets up, calls me at 10 o'clock and says, we're at the train station. Train station where? In Chicago. The girlfriend lives in Chicago. So you mean you done stayed 2 days with my baby with this girl in Chicago before bringing my baby home? And then telling me stuff like that I wasn't concerned about my baby and all this, that, and the third because I didn't rebook tickets for them to come home when they missed their flight. Why, first of all, why are you missing a flight with a baby? Any other time, there ain't never been no problem like this. I just didn't buy it. I just didn't buy it. She went out there. She probably went out there a couple days later, so they ended up staying together a few days with my child. This is what I feel with my whole heart. And then I picked them up at the train station. We get to the house. I love on my baby, y'all. I miss her so much. And then she goes to sleep. And then he wants to hug and love on me. No, sir. Well, here's your anniversary gift because we got married on January 11th. They got back on like the 18th. I didn't have anything for him really, so I just gave him something that I had here. It was a watch with a scripture in it. And he hugged me. I was shocked because he never hugs me. And so, yeah, that happened. But I'm gonna have to leave this story right here, you guys, because I really got to get out of here and go to work. I got like 5 minutes, and I still got like a 3 minute drive. So I will pick up tomorrow where I left off today. Remember to smile. It doesn't cost you anything. Your smile is your smile, no matter how good or bad it is. Smile. It may brighten someone's day. You never know. Just remember to smile. That's all. It doesn't cost you anything to smile. See my smile? Okay. All right. Y'all have a great day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.